a river tributary of the Loncomilla, in Linares province, Maule region of Chile, where it forms the border between the municipalities of Linares and Longaví. It is born from the homonym glacial lake, situated to the east of the Nevado of Longaví in the Andes of central Chile. Through its upper section, it flows west of the Melado Range, surrounded by high Andean mountains. In its first stage, it receives several streams, especially on its northern side. From the lake, the water falls, creating an impressive cascade to the area known as Bajo de las Lástimas, translated is Lowland of Sorrow. Further west, the Achibueno receives as affluent the river Ancoa, near the Pan American Highway, and flows a few kilometers south of the city of Linares. Achibueno is the most important tributary to the river Loncomilla. The most defining feature of the river is the color of the water, a highly transparent blue, also with reduced human intervention in its upper course, containing a unique and outstanding biological landscape and geological resources that makes the Achibueno one of the most beautiful rivers of central zone in Chile. This river is characterized by a wide range of flora and fauna. Its vegetation is characterized by a native Andean forest of pre-Andean transition with a diversity of tree species, such as roble, arrayán, coigüe, llantén, litre, boldo, among others. According to the Red Book of the Earth's Flora of Chile in 1989, in the Maule region, there are 23 species conservation problem. 6 of them are in the Achibueno River, and its fauna is characterized by autochthon species such as pejerrey, puyé, pocha, salmon, lorotricahue, among others, some of which correspond endangered species.
Despite being a river with a lot of beautiful characteristics, landscape, and resources, this river has been threatened by the building of 2 hydroelectric plants. Practically all the Maule Basin and its tributaries had been seized or are on the agenda of hydroelectric companies. While we are aware of the energy rush being experienced by the country, we also are aware of what about the loss of ecological biodiversity in central Chile. If the project of hydroelectric plants were approved by the government, the building of 2 hydroelectric plants in Altos of Achibueno, this would dry the river between the areas of Pejerrey and Monte Oscuro, which are the main resort of not only Linarenses but also of people in general. Moreover, would produce deforested areas. Over 60 hectares would be the result of various changes to the landscape and areas of accumulation of steriles, excluding changes related to the building of transmission lines, in order to produce 135 megawatts, the thousandth part of generation of the country. It is very little energy as to justify the destruction of the river and the landscape. This project will not only treat the landscape, but also will treat the flora and fauna of the hotspot, which is an area called as ecological biodiversity of central Chile. People who are in favor or who want to carry out the building of the hydroelectric plants are going to try to convince us of the benefits that this project will bring. For example, the generation of new jobs. The truth is that this plant will just generate less than 400 jobs, and a lot of these jobs would be occupied by professionals and technicians who are not from the zone. With the building of the plants, we are not going only sacrificing our natural heritage, but also the futures of our people. So for that reason, it's necessary to reach a consensus to march against this project.
In conclusion, the contribution that the hydroelectric will make to the interconnected central system in terms of energy is very marginal in relation to the cost the region will have to assume due to its contribution. Because of that reason, it had emerged a social movement that is fighting for making of this river a nature sanctuary. This movement is called Blue Fighters. It was funded by a group of students from Universidad Católica del Maule. The main goal of this social movement is to protect the flora and fauna of the place. Blue Fighter movement is trying to join people to its cause. If you are interested in joining it, follow the group either on Facebook /BlueFighter or Twitter /BlueFighters. Because of that reason, it has emerged a social movement that is fighting for making of this river a nature sanctuary. This movement is called Blue Fighters. It believes that the economic development is not incompatible with preserving spots like the Achibueno River Valley. On the contrary, unique places like this have a much greater potential for tourism than for producing energy. This is due to the river's particular characteristic and those of the ecosystem that it supports, which could perfectly well be a future national park that best conserves the characteristic flora and fauna of the central zone. Blue Fighters movement is trying to join people to its cause. If you are interested in joining it, you can follow the group either on Facebook.com/BlueFighters or Twitter.com/BlueFighters. We, young people, are making a public call to our president to keep the promise she made with the citizens of this country of protecting our natural environment. Be part of this.